I'm sure you've heard of the health guru Bryan Johnson, right? You know, the world's self-proclaimed most healthiest man on the planet.
I am the healthiest person on planet Earth.
The guy whose t-shirts say, "Don't die." Well, his e-commerce brand Blueprint might be doing just that, dying. In this video, I'm going to expose the major issues that Bryan Johnson's products are facing on Amazon. Everything from exploding vitamins to dangerous nutty powders. Oh, and I'll even show you how much money he's making, or losing, with his brand. So come with me and let's go discover if Bryan Johnson's Blueprint brand is healthy or dying. First, who is Bryan Johnson? Well, Bryan Johnson is an American fitness influencer famous for his ultra-raw, ancestral lifestyle and eating raw liver, testicles, and other organs.
Why eat vegetables when you can what?
Eat testicles. Just bone broth, liver, and meat.
Actually, wait, that's the other fitness influencer, also called Bryan the Liver King Johnson. This Bryan Johnson is an American tech entrepreneur who claims to be the healthiest and most tested man alive. Right now, he's probably most well known for his Netflix special, Don't Die, the Man Who Wants to Live Forever. And Bryan's followers are eating it all up. This Reddit poll found that 75% of respondents thought that he was going to live 5 to 10 years longer because of what he was doing. And nearly 10% thought that he was actually going to achieve the dream and live forever. And so when you have millions of followers as devout as that, what do? Well, you start selling them snake oil. No, seriously. Bryan's first product launched in 2021 and was an olive oil named snake oil. Because when you're selling anti-aging in a bottle, well, you might as well own it. Since then, Bryan has launched dozens of products now branded under the name Blueprint. Right now, Bryan has over 40 products. And when you launch that many products that quickly, it's almost never healthy. So let's go take a look at some of the problems that Bryan Johnson and his brand Blueprint have been facing. So one of Blueprint's hero products is this multivitamin shown here. According to sellersnooper.com, it does tens of thousands of dollars in sales. It claims to support energy and defend against oxidative stress. But there's one big problem. The pills themselves, well, they can't withstand the stress and storage of an Amazon warehouse. Blueprint's pills literally are melting in the bottles. In fact, if you check out the latest reviews on Amazon, they're all reporting almost the exact same thing. Customers are showing pictures of the products giving a reddish-orange stain to their hands. Bryan claims to spend millions of dollars a year on health testing of himself to track a variety of biomarkers. Unfortunately, Blueprint seems to have forgotten the part about testing its products for quality control. One of the things that Bryan touts the most are nut butters, specifically macadamia nut butters. He emphasizes the importance of super simple and natural nut butters. However, Bryan's macadamia nut butter he launched in 2024 might be a little too natural. So natural, in fact, that they forgot to remove the shells from the nuts. The reviews for his nut butter are full of reviews of people complaining about finding shells within them. This reviewer said the following: "Bryan Johnson, this is trash. I've been a fan and have tried your other products, but this peanut butter is an embarrassment. You should have never released it at all if you couldn't find a proper manufacturer. This is dangerous and unacceptable." Another review says something similar. "Do not buy. Has pieces of shell in both bottles and they haven't pulled them. Bryan Johnson doesn't seem to care about shell pieces. It's been months of complaints and I just threw them away. I give up on this company." And the reviews continue on like this. But the problems don't stop with nutty butters and exploding pills. Bryan's quality control keeps on rolling with collagen powder. He launched this stuff in 2025. Collagen powders on Amazon are one of the hottest products and the top sellers rake in millions of dollars in sales a month. But Bryan's Blueprint collagen, barely moving. It's struggling to hit even a few hundred sales a month. And that's with his massive social media army and paid ads behind it. So what's going on? Well, surprise, it's another quality control issue. His collagen powder has a 4.0 star rating in a world, again, where most products are close to 5 stars. But the issue isn't the collagen powder itself, it's the packaging. People are getting collagen bags that are ripped, punctured, or leaking. So imagine opening your Amazon box and finding a cloud of cow and chicken peptides coating your couch. And even worse, those busted bags might have been sitting in an Amazon warehouse for months, wide open to dust, germs, and whatever else floats through an Amazon FC. So why is Bryan having so many quality control issues with Blueprint? Well, here's my hot take. Outside of his nutty butter, which does have serious QC issues, the other products don't really seem to have any product issues. But he does seem to have a major packaging quality control issue that he needs to deal with. When he's selling on his own website, his audience members might be keen to overlook some of these problems. But on Amazon, there is one golden rule about having a successful product. Amazon customers rate packaging first and the product second. And if you have crappy packaging, it doesn't really matter how good your product is. You're going to get bad reviews and your products are never going to rank. So Bryan might be spending millions developing the most pure and clinically backed supplements on the planet. But if his packaging is bad, his product brand on Amazon is going to die. Okay, so I promised to tell you how much Bryan is making with his brand Blueprint. First, let me tell you about some of his competitors. On Amazon, supplements are the single most competitive and popular category on the entire website. 3 of the top 5 largest sellers on Amazon are in the vitamins and supplement space. The largest one, Sports Research, does well over $500 million a year in revenue just on Amazon. Nutrafol and Carlisle, well, they both do over $300 million a year on Amazon. So Bryan's goals from Blueprint, aside from getting boyish good looks like me, is to clearly get a chunk of this D2C pie. But how much of that pie is Blueprint getting right now? Well, they're getting just a few crumbs of it. According to sellersnooper.com, Blueprint is doing about $4.5 million a year in revenue on Amazon. Now this might sound impressive, but remember that Bryan himself claims to spend millions of dollars a year in testing and his overall health regimen. In other words, he's spending millions of dollars building his personal brand, which is the engine behind Blueprint. But there's something worse. Bryan's spending all of his money building his personal brand, and he's getting almost no organic rankings on Amazon. Let's go dive into the details of one of his top-selling products, his longevity mix on Helium 10. So if we get rid of branded searches and any search terms with under 1,000 searches a month, the results are kind of dire. His longevity mix gets almost no organic rankings, meaning that he's either relying on paid ads or his massive social following, which is also extremely expensive to build. So tons of money spent and almost no organic traction. Now it is worth mentioning the Blueprint website does get a massive amount of traffic. According to sellersnooper.com, it gets about 1 million visits a month. So it's very likely that they're generating millions of dollars a year just through their website. Blueprint also has a strong presence on the Chinese equivalent of Amazon, Tmall. So it's likely that Amazon is a big part of the Blueprint e-commerce business, but it's not all of it. So in conclusion, is Blueprint dying? Well, before we talk about whether Blueprint's dying, you know what won't die? This channel if you like and subscribe. So go ahead, turn on your notifications, hit like, hit subscribe, and ensure that this channel doesn't die. All right, now let's go talk about Blueprint. Well, right now, I would be absolutely shocked if they're making a profit. Blueprint might eventually become a massive, profitable health brand, but they're not there just yet. Given their relatively small estimated revenue, right now they're probably losing a bunch of money instead of making a bunch of money. And we all know that Bryan Johnson is polarizing. Some people worship him like a god and will buy anything that he sells. And others mock his ever-changing face and yeah, that yellowish skin that he's developed.
One of the many things that makes Bryan cake is he's acting like his appearance is an indicator of his health, but he leaves out that it's totally artificially enhanced. It got that way because he injected his face with human fat, did sculpture injections, fibrin injections, skin laser treatments, facial ultrasound, microneedling, and micro-Botox injections.
But that's not Blueprint's biggest challenge right now. Here's what could actually kill the brand. Leaking packaging, melting capsules, and nut butter filled with literal shell shards. So even if Bryan figures out a way to live forever, if he can't figure out these QC issues for Blueprint, the brand itself might just die. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, happy selling.